Hello and welcome to the PhotoVidShow tutorials version 4.41. In today's tutorial we're going to talk about edit slide media, or editing the slide input media. Now what do we mean by that? Well, here I've brought up the PhotoVidShow editor and I've loaded my holidays project up so we can see all the slides here in the storyboard. Now each slide here will consist of a picture that I've assigned to it, or perhaps a video. Other slides here may consist of many pictures, as we did here when we selected a design template earlier. So all we simply mean is that we want to edit the photos or the video inside our slide. That's what we say when we say edit slide media. This can be done in several ways. If you left click on a slide and select the scissor icon here, it says edit slide media. Or also we can right click on the slide and select edit slide media here. Right, I'm going to do that now. Now as you can see, once we do that, it shows us our input image to this slide. At the moment there's only one input image to this slide, and that's here. Now from here we can do various things to this image. We can adjust its colour, we can crop it, we can orientate it, or we can set it an outline mask. Also, if you ever wish to change this image, if you've changed your mind that you don't want that image and you want it to be something else, you can select browse here and you can change the image, or you can double left click here to change the image. See, so if I click on that, we can select another picture to replace it with, or even replace it with a video. We're not going to do that now. I'm just going to go through the tab options here to sort of show the effects you can do and why you want to do them. Right, we've got our input image here, but perhaps we want to adjust the colour here. We want to make it look a bit more vivid, or perhaps we want to make it look black and white and a bit vintage. How would we do something like that? Often a useful tip here is to go to the adjust colour, and if you slightly decrease the brightness and slightly increase the contrast, it looks a bit more vivid. So that's sort of a nice effect to do. If your photo looks a bit flat and that, just applying those things can often sort of make the colour stand out a little bit more. You can adjust that how you feel. Now perhaps we want to take it monotone as well, so there we go. We want to kind of make the black and whiteness stand out of it, and we want to make it a monotone black and white picture. Perhaps we just don't want it black and white, perhaps we want a tinge to it, maybe a brownness or something to make it look a bit more vintage. Then you can adjust the colours further by selecting this option here. Now if I perhaps decrease the blue, these stand for red, green, blue channels of your image. So this one here will increase the redness of it or decrease it, and this will increase the greenness of it or decrease the greenness, and very same here with the blueness. So if we slightly decrease the blueness of the image and slightly increase the redness of it, so you can see it kind of looks a bit more vintage. So you can play around with these. If you've messed up and you want to just start again, or you don't like what you've done, just hit the reset colour settings here. Also there's you can actually reset all the settings of any tab settings you've done here. Any changes you've done to the tabs, if you want to reset everything you've done, you can select here as well. But I won't do that for now. So we're happy for that. We've got this nice effect here. So if I go back into my storyboard, as you can see, it looks a bit more brown and vintage about it. The next thing I'm going to show you how to just crop an image. Now why would you want to do cropping images? For example, here I've got a picture of a beach, but perhaps when I preview my slideshow I don't want to show all the beach here. If I preview that slide, it's showing the whole picture, but maybe I just want to zoom on this man here with his umbrella. So if I then edit slides media on that and select the crop tab and then cropped enabled, I can now move this region here to say which part of the image I actually want to use, as you can see here. Now a useful tip here is that you can actually set this crop to very much in sort of weird shapes like this, but often what you want to do is to crop the image such that it fits perfectly into the frame of the output you're selecting here, because our output is 16:9 aspect ratio. So we want this to fit perfectly in there without any of these black bars at the top or the bottom. So what we can do is ask PhotoVidShow to automatically select the widescreen 16:9 aspect for us. There you go. So we can see now, or when we crop, it will be like that. So there we go. We're going to zoom in now. So there's our man on a beach. We want to just select that part of that image. I'm going to select done, and as you can see, now one thing it's done here, it has cropped it, but it's kept its old frame that it was stored in, and it looks a bit distorted. So if you ever crop it like that, you need to sometimes, if you select the text and images tab here, select your slide, select the text and images tab, right click on your image here and select original aspect. Okay, that's put the image back to its original aspect ratio, but we also want to fill the slide. So if I right click and put fill slide, there we go. So that image is now completely fits our frame. If I was to turn the pan and zoom off for that particular slide, when I preview it, there you go, it's a static image but it completely fits the frame. Another reason you might want to do cropping is, I'll show you here. For example, I've got a portrait picture here. This image is a portrait image, and if I was to apply a design to it like this one here, like this montage effect, you can see that it's tried to fit it in this kind of more landscape sort of area, and it's cropped off bits I don't want to do. So we've just got the body here, that doesn't look quite right, that image. So if I did want to use this design, I might want to crop this image such that it selects the region I want to. So if I apply that design there, and then there's another way to edit the slide images here. If I select edit slide images, now as you can see we've got the four images now we can modify. You can left click them to say which ones. Also, if you don't like the order it's come up here, you can actually drag and drop and change the order they appear in here. See, sometimes that may fix your problem here, as you can see. So you can actually change by dragging and dropping, you can change the order they appear here in your design. But we'll go back to that with the problem again. I can then select the crop tab, crop enabled, to say I probably want a 16:9 aspect. If I move that up there, if you just wait a couple of seconds, it's now, there we go, it's applied that crop in this preview area here, so you can see what it looks like. So we're happy with that. So as you can see now, when we preview this slide, we've got a bit of the image we want. Now if I go back to the edit slide media window again, sometimes when you import portrait pictures into PhotoVidShow, the orientation is wrong. It's correct here, but sometimes it looks wrong. It shows sort of a landscape picture when it should be a portrait. You can adjust the orientation here. As you can see, you can readjust the orientation here so it changes in your template design. Also you can do a mirror effects here, mirror like that, so maybe you want her facing that way instead, you can apply that. That's how you do orientation effects to your pictures. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to do outline masks. Now what are those, you ask? I will quickly show you. If I say I've got this slide here, that's a nice picture, but say I want to just have a sort of a cut, like a cut around the sides of it to show parts of that picture. if I select edit slide media on it and select outline mask, you've got these sort of different where you can sort of change the outline of the image if you like. There we go. So perhaps what we want is this effect here. Maybe we like that, and then once I view my, there we go, we can see we've got a kind of this cut outline of my image. Perhaps with that I can now add a nice background to it, maybe a green coloured one. Let's see what we got here, like that. See, so when I preview that slide, it's there we go. I could turn the pan zoom off that on that particular slide again. And when I preview it, there we go. We've made a slide like that. Okay, the next thing the edit slide media can do is to trim your video. Now, say we've got a video here. This is a picture on the beach, and it just plays too long. We want to trim certain parts of it. So if I select edit slide media again, you can see because it's a video, it's brought up another tab called trim video. What this allows you to do is to set the start frame and the end frame. So perhaps we're happy with the start, but it's just too long. Maybe we want it 15 seconds long. So if I adjust the end frame to so it finishes at times 15, there you can see we've now created a 15-second video. You can fine-tune the exact start and end frames by selecting these icons here that selected, move it up and down by 1 second or 1 frame, so that it will preview your video there continuously. So perhaps you can also set the volume of that video. Perhaps it's too loud, you can quiet it down a bit. And also another very useful feature here is this part here. This will fade the background music when the video is playing. Often when you finish your slideshow, you'll have background music going whilst your slideshow is playing. But sometimes when a video comes up, especially if someone's talking or there's something going on with sound in your video, you just want to lower the volume of your background music whilst the video is playing. That can be done by ticking there and then setting how much you want the background music to fade by. If it's 100%, the background music will completely fade out when the video is playing. I will select that now. When we come to add in background music to our slideshow, you'll see how this works, but I think you get the idea of why you may want to do this. It's just to fade the background music whilst your video is playing in your slideshow. So I'm going to select done there. Now whilst I'm here, another useful thing, if your video is say for example very long, like a 5-minute video, and you just want to have small bits of the video, so maybe you want the first minute of it and then you want to cut it and have another minute part of the video later on. You know, if you just want to sort of edit your video into sort of little play snippets, then what you can do is something I showed previously, is to clone the slide. So say on this video we want to play the first 5 seconds of it and then perhaps the last 5 seconds of it. If I duplicate or clone the slide, I'm not sure if you can see this, duplicate slides, it's duplicated that video. Now if I edit the first one, I can set it to say, well, we just want to play the first 5 seconds or so of this video. Is that done? And on the second one, we can say, well, we want to just play the last 5 seconds, so that would be somewhere around there. So there we go, we've kind of edited our video. Our video now, we've edited our video into 2 little video edits. So one will play the first 5 seconds of the video and one will play the last 5 seconds. Now another thing that you can edit slide media on, and it's not obvious initially, is you can edit the text on a design template. I'll show you what I mean. Now for example, here's our first slide in our slideshow, but if I was to select a design that contains text, say for example this one here, there we go. Say we want this nice effect to introduce our slideshow. As you can see, it says text 1, text 1, text 1. Now how do I edit that text? That's the question. So if I was to apply that design and then select edit slide images, now here's all the inputs to that image. Is our image and these coloured bars, but also it's got something here called text. So if I select that, I can now change that text that is used in that template design. So I can say, if I wanted that, as you can see, it's now changed it there. I could also go ahead and change the font. Maybe I want another font to this. Maybe I want something like that. As you can see, it's changed the font. If you don't want any text, some template designs have text, sort of optional text. Perhaps you don't want any text in it. You can select the clear text option there. So when I select done, as you can see for my slide here, I've now set the text there. Okay, that's all I'm going to do in this tutorial. I've hoped you've learnt a lot, and I will see you next time for the next tutorial.